One of the most common questions many business owners tend to have when they open their limited company and they're using that limited company to run their business is, should I actually be using personal funds in my business? As in, is it okay if I have personal money that I wish to then inject into the business? Now, I think the first thing to understand is one of the most common reasons why business owners might potentially want to use personal funds within their company is down to the fact that perhaps the business is having cash flow issues where maybe they are simply not getting enough influx of cash into the business as quickly as they need it. So in the short term, this might perhaps be a good idea, but actually if you're finding that as a business owner you are continually having to inject your personal money into the business, then this could actually signify that your business might be having issues with its liquidity, and that might also signal that your business is beginning to show signs of becoming insolvent. Of course, in many situations it's often much easier for a business owner to simply use their personal funds, maybe from their savings, and inject that into their limited company, because it's a lot quicker than, say, maybe applying for a loan or trying to get some other form of capital into your business. Now, I do always say that if this is the approach that you want to take, then it's important to make sure that you are injecting personal funds into your business in a way that is safe, okay? And one of the best ways to do this is by looking at ways to utilize what we call director's loan, okay? So that basically is a loan that is from you as a director into your business. Now, I talk a lot more about director's loans and how to use those within your company and in your business, and I will leave the video to that in the description box below. So do make sure you check that video out if you're interested in learning more about how to actually utilize director's loans within your business. Now, one major disadvantage that many people don't consider when using personal funds in their business is what happens if that business suddenly goes into liquidation. Now, there are many reasons why a business might perhaps go into liquidation, and one of that is due to insolvency. Now, in the instance where your business goes into liquidation due to insolvency, then it might actually be quite risky in the sense that it would almost be impossible for you to get all the personal funds that you've put into that business back out of it. So this is a risk that people do need to consider if and when they are looking to actually utilize, personal funds from their savings and injecting that into their limited company. It's not always the case that this happens, but in some instances you might find that if that business eventually does have to be liquidated, maybe perhaps due to insolvency as a result of, bad cash flow problems, then you might potentially be in a situation where you as a director are unable to recoup all of the personal money, all of the personal funds that you've put into that business back out of it. Now, the bottom line is putting your personal money into a limited company does actually pose a risk, particularly if that company starts to experience cash flow problems as a result of insolvency. Now, there's always a risk that you may not get all the funds that you've put into that business back out of it if that business winds up in the future and has to be liquidated. So this is just something to bear in mind. So hopefully, if you're thinking of actually injecting money into your business from your personal funds, then at least you have the pros and cons as to what you need to think about if you decided to take this approach. If you're still unsure of what the best route and best approach for you to take in regards to actually utilizing money within your business, then do use the links in the description box below to contact us for more information on how we can support you. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to give this video a like. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell.